Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. We got leagues coming out today, a little bit after this video comes out, I think. So I wanted to throw my hat in the ring and give my completely objective opinions on the relics that are coming out this year. So, we're just gonna get started on this tier list. If you want a longer video of me going into detail about, every relic, I have one on my channel. This is just gonna be like a quick overview with my thoughts on each one. And, yeah, so let's get started. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thank you very much for doing so, and here we go. So first up we have Endless Harvest. I've heard a lot of discourse about this. A lot of people are taking this that are doing like AFK builds, which I think is perfectly reasonable. So, I'm going to put this in great tier. I think it's a good one. I'm not taking it for tier 1, but I think it is a great option for tier 1. But yeah, just great for me, I think. Next up we have Barbarian Hands. This one I am taking. It is good, it's definitely great. I don't know if it's like demonic tier. I've heard a lot of people saying that this is like more of a trap than anything else because it doesn't really give you a lot of long-term things to do, but I think for the short term this is going to be a great one, and I'm going to put it in great above Endless Harvest. But, it could be demonic, I don't know, I'll see, but I'm not going to remake this, so at the moment, this is just a great to me. So next up we have Abundance. Abundance is the gold solve. It gives you 2 times the gold whenever you gain XP in a skill, and then you also get a +10 bonus to all of your non-combat skills. So this is pretty cool. I don't think it's that good. I don't think coins are as useful in this league as they are, or they were in previous leagues, and there's other gold solves in this mode that I don't think this is even really that good at all. So I'm going to put this in fine. I don't think this is good at all. I know a lot of people are taking this. I mean, a lot of people are going to take all of them, but I think this is definitely going to be the least taken of the tier 1s. I just don't think it's, even remotely as useful as the other ones. That +10 bonus is not going to be great, right at the beginning. It's going to be good at the end, I guess. But like I said, I just don't think it's as effective as the other two. It's not as long-term as Endless Harvest, and it's not as quick as Barbarian Hands is going to be in tier 1. So, And then we have Hotfoot. So Hotfoot is the agility boots one, which obviously solves agility. It also solves smithing. It doesn't synergize too well with Barbarian Hands, but it does synergize really well with Endless Harvest, because it basically just solves smithing, especially if you're going desert. You can take the bars that you mine from that skill and use it for Giant's Foundry, and that's going to be like insane XP when you get there. But unfortunately, like, you can't transmute the bars into higher level bars, so that's a big one for me. I was really on the fence about this one. This was my pick for a while until I had some people in my chat tell me that Friendly Forager was much better, and Woodsman honestly too is better. So I'm going to put this in fine. I'm going to put this above Abundant Harvest. I think it's good. It's fine, but it's not great, and it's not like... I think the other two options are just a lot better. So the next one is Friendly Forager. This one is the Herb Sack and all the Herblore perks. So like if you need Herblore, and Herblore is, historically been a really annoying skill to do in leagues. So I think this is going to help out a lot. I am on the fence on this and Woodsman still. I think I'm going to do Forester and then reload into Woodsman, because I think Hunter on day 1 is going to be virtually impossible. So I'm going to do Friendly Forager for my early level skilling. I think this is great. I think it is better than Endless Harvest just for the synergy alone with gathering skills, because it synergizes with both of these really well. And it just is a really good solve for an annoying skill in leagues. So there's that. Woodsman is the fletching, woodcutting, and fire making and hunter one. So this solves a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I definitely feel like I want to reload into this because I like hunter a lot, and the hunter contracts are gonna print money, which is gonna be kind of cool. And the double loot, I guess, is nice, but the attraction thing, like the hunter trap attraction and the 100% chance of catching, is gonna be really nice. I'm going to put this in great above Endless Harvest as well. I think that's going to be a really good one. We have Banker's Briefcase. So this is returning from previous leagues. If you don't remember, Banker's Briefcase just lets you teleport to any bank chest, or deposit box. It's good, you know, it's really good. I'm gonna put it in good. I think it's just a good relic, you know, it's not anything like crazy, you know, it's not the best of the teleport ones in my opinion, but it's not the worst either. I just think it's good. Evil Eye, on the other hand, I think is great. I'm gonna put this in great under Endless Harvest. I think it's definitely better than Banker's Briefcase. I think the access to the bosses, especially if you're doing PVM for your build, is going to be super good for you. I think this is going to be a really effective relic for anyone doing late game PVM builds. And then Map of Alacrity, I really don't understand this one. I might just be stupid, but I don't really get the appeal to this at all. I haven't really seen much like talk about this, about why it's good, other than like there's a few niche cases where it's pretty good, like blood crafting and soul crafting and Zaya, but aside from that, like I haven't really seen anything that's kind of great about it. So I'm going to put this in Y tier. I don't really know why this is an option when the other two are so much better. I think Evil Eye is way better than this. I think Banker's Note is better than this, because Banker's Note is good if you're doing like an AFK skilling build or something, and Evil Eye is great if you're doing active PVM, and then Map of Alacrity is just kind of there. I'm not really sure why. You know, I feel like there was better options that they could have done. But yeah, that's where I've got that. So then we have Transmutation next. This is the one that changes your alchemy spells into the upgrade or downgrade things. I'm putting this in Demonic. I think this is one of the best relics of the whole league. I think this is going to be super fun to use. It solves a lot of skills. It's just going to be awesome to play with this. I think it's going to be super fun. I am taking it, so no bias here whatsoever, but you know, I just think in general this is a really good pick for tier 4. Next up is Conniving Clues. Conniving Clues, or the clue relics in the last leagues, have been really good. You know, there's been a lot of points in clues, especially that one year where there was like just so many points in collection logs and clues, and years following that they stopped doing that. They didn't do as many points in clues, and I think that's going to be the case this year as well. This is a great one. I mean, I think this is... I'm going to put this at top of good. I think if you take this, you're going to have a lot of fun doing clues. I just don't think you're going to get as many points out of it as you would have in previous years, which is totally fine. But it is a really cool one. I don't think it's quite great, but it is going to be good. It is heavily point dependent as well. You know, if there ends up being a lot of points in collection log, it would be a great one to pick. But in terms of the tier 4s, I think it's not as good as it could be relative to the other two. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Butler's Bell is an awesome relic. I think this is going to go crazy for people doing AFK builds. Pretty much anyone that wants to solve gathering without doing gathering. I'm going to put this in Demonic just because I think it's really, really cool and really fun. I think a lot of people are going to have a good time with this one, especially people that are doing like AFK builds, because you're going to come back online after like a 16-hour night or whatever, and you're gonna have like a 5,000 logs, you know, available to you. I think that's gonna be super fun to play around, and I think that's gonna be really satisfying for a lot of people to use. I think it's a really cool relic, so I'm gonna put that in Demonic. We have Nature's Accord next. This is the farming one, which also comes with the Fairy Mushroom Teleporter, which teleports you to any fairy ring, gnome, or leprechaun, or spirit tree. I'm also going to put this one in Demonic. I think that everything that you get from this relic is crazy, like in terms of what it is. You get so much. You know, you get the fairy teleport, you get crops never die, you get no level requirement for farming patches, you get 10x harvest with XP. You know, it's going to be really cool. I mean, it solves Herblore for sure, you know, later in the game. It solves a lot of stuff, and it's a nice transport one as well. I just think this is a really good pick. I think it is the best pick for tier 5, but you know, I might even put this above Butler's Bell. I think it's that good. I think Nature's Harvest is definitely a pick, especially if you're doing anything with a lot of farming patches like Zaya. The farming guild is going to go crazy with Nature's Accord. But yeah, so I'm going to put that in Demonic just for the sheer amount of stuff that you get with it. Larcenist is next up. I don't really care for Larcenist. It's thieving, it's AFK, it's good AFK. So like, I'm not super pressed about that. I mean, it's going to solve thieving for a lot of people, which is great, but I'm not going to take this one. I think it's fine. I'm going to put it above Abundance. Actually, I'm going to put it above Hotfoot as well. I think it's definitely like top end of the fine tier. If I can just, there we go. But like I said, I don't, it's not useful for me. I don't think it's better than either of the other two options. I think Larcenist is definitely not as good as the other ones. So that's just me. I know a lot of people are taking Larcenist, especially people doing Mauritania and Tyranwin, because the teleport crystals and the blood shards are going to be crazy there. The crystal stuff for sure, and then it also saw smithing apparently in Tyranwin, which is nice. But like I said, I don't think it's enough to take it over Nature's Harvest or Soul Harvest, which is the next one. Soul Harvest seems really cool. Solves rune crafting and prayer, which are also notoriously bad to do in leagues. I think I'm taking desert, so I won't need this because I'll be doing guardians for 99, and then prayer I'm just going to transmute bones, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm going to put this in great tier. I'm going to put this above Woodsman. I think it's better than Friendly Forager actually too. I would even almost say it's better than Barbarian Hands, but I'm going to put it there for now just because I like where it's sitting there. It is very good. It is definitely going to be a lot of fun to use for some people, and I just think it's a good one. It's a great one. You can't go wrong with that one. You know, between the two of the Nature's Accord and Soul Harvest, I think those are two very good options. I just think Nature's Accord is just a little bit better. Grimoire is heavily area dependent. In general, it's pretty useful, especially if you're not taking Asgarnia or Karen, because you're not going to get those prayers. So if you're not taking either of those, which I know a lot of the mage, mage people might be taking Ancestral, but if they're not, you know, Grimoire is great. I'm going to put it in great at the bottom just because it really is heavily area dependent. It can be great for you. It can be useless for you. I'm going to put it in great because if you do take it, it does a lot for you. You know, it just gives you access to a lot of things you wouldn't otherwise have had access to. So I think that's a really good thing. So then next up we have Eternal Sustenance. I have gotten a lot of information about this, and there are some niche cases where this is useful, but to me it is not that good. It just seems like a useless perk to me. I don't know why they put this in the tier that it's in. I think the other two options are way better, especially Culling Spree. I think is much better. I'm going to put this in Y tier above Map of Alacrity. I get why some people are doing it because some people are using it like they're justifying it as like they're bad at PvM, so they want the infinite food. But if you're building some builds that are like hands-off keyboard mage builds or crossbow builds with onyx bolts, you do not need infinite food. Like, you're going to be healing so much off the damage that you're going to be dealing that you will not need to be eating. So I don't really get why this is a tier 6. This would be a cool like tier 3, maybe like, or a tier 2 or a 4 even, but 6 is kind of crazy. And also it doesn't cover potions, which is bad. You know, if it covered potions too, this would be an easy like demonic tier. Even like a high great tier, it might be the best great one. It just, not having the potion be infinite, which I think was a thing in previous leagues, like, is kind of not good. So I'm not really about that one. I have heard arguments about it being good for those that aren't good at PvP or PvM, but like I said, it doesn't seem that good to me. Culling Spree, on the other hand, is going to be pretty awesome. I'm going to put this in good. None of the tier 6 ones are really that great. I mean, Grimoire, like I said, is area dependent. Culling Spree is fine, you know, it's good just for being, you know, what it is. It's definitely one of the better ones for tier 6. I mean, if you don't need Grimoire, Culling Spree is an obvious choice because it's just the only other good option if you don't need Grimoire. But it is fine, you know, it doesn't really solve anything. It just makes Slayer a little bit easier, and it makes you get more superiors on more clue scrolls. So like if you're doing a clue scroll kind of build, this might be good for you. But yeah, like I said, it's just fine. You know, all the tier 6s are fine. You know, there's nothing really to write home about on the tier 6s in my opinion. So then we have Flow State, which makes all of your skilling actions be 2 ticks, which is 1.2 seconds. Pretty cool. This one I'm thinking I'm going to put in the top of great. I think this is going to change the game for a lot of people doing AFK and skilling. Especially if you were to, you know, go into like abundant or endless harvest is going to be crazy with this. You know, Barbarian Hands even is going to be crazy with this. Transmute, you know, any skilling action is just going to be nutty. And it also works for Winter's Hot and Temporos, so that's huge. So yeah, I think top are great for this one. I know a lot of people are picking this one, especially those that are doing AFK skilling are going to want to take this because it'll just speed up your skills like exponentially. So next up we have Reloaded. I'm taking Reloaded. I'm going to reload into Woodsman, I think, because I'm going to want that Hunter Saw, so I'm going to take that. But we all know what Reloaded does. I'm not going to really go over it for super long. I think it's good. I think it's better than Culling Spree. I don't think it's great, per se, just because it really depends on what you're reloading into. You know, it's kind of just middle of the road. Like, you know, you could reload into something that really helps you. You could reload into something that doesn't really help you, but you need the skill. So I'm just going to put it in the middle of the road. So then we have Executioner's Axe. This is making a return from the Sages League or whatever the 2 leagues ago was. This is coming back from that. I'm going to put this in Demonic. I think this is an insanely good relic. I'm going to put this above Butler's Bell, actually. If you don't know, this kills a target at 20% or less HP. I think that's going to be insane, especially for people that aren't used to PVM. This is going to be super good along with the Flask of Fervor, but this one too, you know, if you're feeling a little bit more confident or your build is like overhealing you like crazy, you know, this is a great option for you to take. So yeah, I'm putting it in Demonic for that reason. I'm on the fence about this in Minion, because Minion, I never take Minion, and I feel like I should at some point, so I think I might take it this time, but I don't know. We'll see how my build turns out. But Minion, I'm gonna put Minion in Great above Woodsman, I think. I know a lot of people are doing like a Butler Minion build where like they just have the Minion do everything for them, and they have the Butler get all their skill stuff for them. So I think that's pretty funny. But Minion this year, it seems good. You know, you can increase its max HP to 20, I think, with 5 Zamorak items, so that's kind of cool. And then you can also, he can also like pick up drops for you and pick up your used ammo and whatnot, which, I mean, at tier 8, I don't think you will have used ammo anymore. You're going to be regenerating more than you're using at that point, but, you know, hey, it's there. So I'm going to put that in the middle of Great. I think it's great, but it's not like, I don't think it's better than like Soul Harvest or Flow State, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to put that in the middle of Great. And then Flask of Fervor, I'm also going to put in Insane or Demonic above, I think I'll put this above Executioner's Axe, actually. For those of you who are doing this game mode who don't do a lot of PvP, this is going to be insanely good for you. I mean, this is going to be, it's basically an Ambrosia from TOA without the need, and then you also get 2.4 seconds of invincibility and you do 180 damage if you have 99 prayer. So this is going to be a really good relic for those that are kind of jumping into PVM that they haven't done before. So if you end up getting like absolutely decimated by some boss that you're fighting, you can just tap this and not die. So it's just really good for that. It's going to be really good for, like I said, anyone who is new to that stuff. So that's why I'm putting it in Demonic. But yeah, that's about it. I'm just gonna evaluate this real quick. I think we're in good spots here. Yeah, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts on this are in the comments below, and I hope you guys have fun playing Leagues today. I will be streaming most, if not all, of the day, so if you want to come in and say hi and see how we're doing, you know, please do. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a couple hours.